Hey guys, welcome to DevOps School. In this video tutorial, we are going to learn about Docker. It helps us to create, deploy and run applications by using containers. After going through this tutorial, I promise you that the concept and understanding of the Docker will be absolutely clear to you.
But before that, let me ask you a few things. Are you dreaming of a career with higher pay and more responsibilities? Or are you ready to take your skills to the next level this year? Then start investing in DevOps School certification level courses which will help you to emerge skills for a wide range of entry-level roles and as well as higher potential future positions. But with thousands of courses online and in classroom worldwide, finding the right one for your career goals can be difficult. You can consider our courses like Agile Developer, Agile QA, DevOps Certified Professionals, Site Reliability Engineering, DevSecOps, and Masters in DevOps Engineering, where you will have access to well-structured, easy-to-follow course content that has been developed and will be delivered by industry professionals. You can join on our training programs globally through online platforms, and if you are looking for classroom workshops, then we have regular sessions available in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Delhi NCR, Mumbai and in Pune. Simply compare our many courses, find the one that suits your style and schedule best and start today.
Okay, so we are talking about the Docker Compose. Now the question is, what is Docker Compose and why Docker Compose? So I was just talking about, so typically when you act like a developer and you develop an image, so you modify the code and then you develop image. That's the target, actually, that's the objective. So you modify the web server image, app server image, database server image. So we call it service 1, service 2. So what do? You modify the image, build the image, run the image, start the image, stop the image, remove the image, all these things you do that. So for that, you run multiple commands. So to try it out one stick, you run multiple commands, maybe 20 or 30. To automate all these activities, we use Docker Compose. So Docker Compose will help you to automating the development environment, development process with the Docker. Okay. Now the question is how it works. So Docker Compose is a utility which you need to install it, and then it required Compose YAML file. Compose YAML file has a services in which you have a different services whichever you use it, and each services has few options. These options. So you write this YAML file and put it in the Docker Compose and just do up, every service is up, down, every service is down, stop, every service is stop. Like this, you will do that. So I was just talking about how to install the Docker Compose. So these are the commands, these are the URL which I followed in front of you, and it got installed. Now the question is how to use that Docker Compose. So I have some sample program I would like to show you to you. So let's use this. So for that, so I'll just use one of it. This one. So guys, I am using one of it. YAML. So Dakar, there is some noise coming from your side. Please mute yourself. See this. Look at this here. Match that with a description. I said you have a compose file which is services. See services. Now what is this? Web service, app service, database service. Like that you have a WordPress is a one service, database is one other service. See. Same thing you will run with a link just now, 5-10 minutes before you run all this stuff. I mean before the break. Now I told you each service will have a multiple options such as image, port, volume, environment, depends on network. Build is not there, so for that you need a Docker file. So here depends on means what? DV. So here is a linking with this. Okay. So before this service will be doing the work and link it and then make it happen. So now if you see here, what we are doing here, look at this image, download which one? See here, ports. This is the host port. This is the container port. So I will do this, remove this one because I don't want to access. I cannot access 127. No, we are not working in the host. We are accessing through the putty. So I'll make it only 80, so that way it will get exposed. Volumes, which is here, wherever you run. This is the external volume. This is the mount FS type, not a volume type. Remember, inside a container it will be mounted here. These are the environment variable which will be set. See here, DB host, WordPress, root, password, all these things will be. Network information will come from the DB. Okay, when you create IP address and all. Now depends on the network, where the network is creating. Here it is. Now this is service, again same thing. So this is the YAML file you created. Now this YAML file, I am going to keep it somewhere here. So vi docker compose.yaml file and done. Save. Now you see here docker compose health. If you do this one, sorry, what happened? Yeah, my mistake. Docker compose health. So these are the commands you have. Most of the commands now is friendly because you have already extensively worked with the Docker. So I'll show you some of the commands. For example, see here, docker compose ps. Do we have any process running, container running? No. So here up, and here I will do the -d. If I don't do the -d, I will lose the console. I am not feeling to lose the console, so detach mode. See here. It just run one command and everything will be done. So pulling that image, everything, whatever you run, environment, set environment. Just imagine if you have 10 images or something like that, then how much time it will save of you. Like too much of time will be saved by you. So that is the thing. Okay, you see here, now I'll just type PS. See, wonderful. Okay, now logs. See, both the logs you see, database and WordPress, both the logs. You want to see stop. Here. See? So it becomes, life becomes so easy with the Docker Compose. Yes. See? Logs. Up one more time. Start. Okay. So guys, did you understand that what I'm trying to say here? Did you understand that? Guys?
So Rajesh, you created the Docker Compose file in the root for system, right? Not in a separate directory.
Any places you can create the Docker Compose file. There's no problem in it. Because here I'm not, you will be having problem actually, but the thing is, I'm not having any build operation, no? So it's not setting up the context path. I'm just downloading WordPress from the hub.docker.com, MySQL from the hub.docker.com like that.
So even I can change the file name also, right? I can give my own file name, my compose.yml file, and I can run, right?
Yes,
by using Docker Compose.
Why not? So here, whenever you do that up, you have to add -f and then file name. That's all.
Okay.
That's all. There is a default name which will pick up automatically, which tool will try to find automatically. If something else is there, some other extension also, you can keep it no problem. The format should be YAML only.
No, now you create in the root file system, right? If I create in my own folder, if I use like a Docker Compose command without giving the file name, will it pick?
Sir, your question is confusing now. I said I am not creating the root file system. I am saying I copy it anywhere and I run it simply. Why? Because there was no build operations, so I don't have to run this compose file in some place where Docker file is needed. So you are saying root file system. Where is the root file system? I mean this title /root. Are you getting my points?
Okay.
I said I can run anywhere if the context is not needed. Docker build operation need the context, not Docker compose. Okay, guys. So, any questions? Did you understand this whole stuff?
One question, but while then should be
Students, I'm so sorry, but I don't know what is the problem from your side. I hardly so much of noise. Whenever you speak up, so much of noise suddenly it creates. Not sure what is the issue. If you can type it in the chat box, that will be great. Anyone else, guys, have a questions?
Can you explain about this network, like the bridge map or something like that, right? So we have defined at the end as
Yeah, sure. So guys, this questions he has asked. Here I was skipping these questions because I didn't want it to cover here because we have a Kubernetes session also. But because we have asked, let me tell you. So first understand theoretical part. For having networking, Docker networking, this is a myth. If you know the networking, everything you know that, simple. If you don't know how networking works and all stuff like that, simple. So typically, I've been telling you that there's one question from Suresh. Let me answer that first. It's a compose related. So Suresh, for every tools nowadays, there's just a default name, okay? So tool by default, try to look for that name. If you find the different name, then you use the -f and then file name. So yes, you can customize it very well. That's what someone has asked this question. I think someone has asked this question already. Like if there's a different name, how can you pass it? Yes, you can customize it. But the format has to be in YAML. Okay? So if you use a different name, you have to use -f, just like a Docker file. Got it? Hello? Got it, Suresh? Okay. Okay, so guys, now the question is networking. So I'll not be able to teach you networking because my topic is different, but I'll just give you the glimpse of it. Okay, glimpse of it. What happens? So you know that kernel has namespace. Namespace has net namespace, and this get initialized to 1 to physical machine, 1 to virtual machine also, and 1 to container also. Same simple concept. Physical machine, virtual machine, and container. One network namespace. Okay, network namespace. NAT namespace. That's the reason you are not able to duplicate the port. Actually, that's the only reason. You get a one network namespace. Each container. Now the question is here: why do we need a networking? You know that. In the world of today's environment, we need a networking for everything. It's not like we can work isolated. So you need a networking to connect with the internet, right? Or people should access you. You should access the whole world, right? You can access the whole world through internet. They can access you through the IP address, static IP address, or routings and stuff like that. So let me show you the pictorial diagram. Probably that will be easier for you. Think about it. So, guys, there is a one node VM. Okay, think more than looking at it image, because I'm not very great in drawing, but think this is the VM. Okay, VM. Now VM has one IP address. This IP address is a physical network. You can consider this as a physical network. I'm just helping you to understand. So because of that, this is the one network namespace, you got it. Now guys, understand that other VMs are also there. This is also physical network. So from here, if you want to connect to here, yes, you can do that. Now the question is, these are the containers. The containers also get a network namespace, but how would they get the IP address? Question. Think about it. See, you get the network namespace here, container also, here also, but how this will get, how this container would be reachable? How can you reach the container? I've been discussing -p options again. So guys, what is happening? I'll tell you here. Simple thing. Think logically. This actually, inside this VM, there is a one network is created. Again, I'm repeating, network of containers. Yes, I'm creating, see the wall. Network of containers. Okay. Network of containers. Now this network of containers should be connected to the bridge. Correct? We all, even now you are connected to the bridge. Remember, your laptop is connected to the bridge, or any other things connected to the bridge. So let's please focus on this current topic. I'll explain you that questions later. Okay. 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 So here we have a VM, we have a container. Container also get a network namespace, but this container is managed by the bridge. This container is managed by bridge. Guys, where is your bridge, by the way? In your router. It will be there in your router, home router. If you see that how your computer is connected with the internet through the bridge of which is in the router. So this is a guys bridge. Now the question is, what is a bridge? You must be asking. So guys, think about it. This is the bridge. And I build. What is this bridge is doing? What this bridge is doing? Connecting the two landmass. The bridge always connects two landmass. Correct? Huh? So you can go from the one landmass to another landmass, another to one landmass, like that. Simple. Now the question is, what is a network bridge? Nowadays network, earlier it used to be hardware, now it's a software. See here this image. Can I open up in this? See this. How many network you have? One network. Second network. See that yourself decide. What is a bridge doing? Bridge is basically connecting the two network. One network, two network. Connecting this one. So you can travel from here to here and here to here. So here what I was talking about, here you get a bridge. This is called Docker bridge, guys. This created the moment you run the Docker. Default bridge created. You can create as many bridges you want, but I don't want to get into that topic. So there's a bridge. Now this bridge manages the IP address of this container. Now the bridge got a container IP address. Container got IP address to the bridge. And so now this container can act. So this think about it. Now because of this bridge managing this container both, this container can talk to this container can talk to this. But the problem here is you need an internet in the container. So how do we get it? So guys, internet is here. We have ETH0, which is managed by this. Here also we have ETH0 inside the container. ETH0 because one network, no? So now here what is happening? This ETH0 connect to this. Think about it. I'm changing the color so you'll understand this. This ETH0 connect to this bridge. So see here. When you try to get the network, so network travels through the node network. then it connect to the bridge, and bridge send to the internet. So now you have asked me a question, what is this bridge network type and all? So guys, what is happening here is they are creating this lines of code, the one which I selected, is creating one bridge network, and they are saying this container and this container should be on this network only. That means this container and this container should be on this network only. Let me show you, because already I have discussed, so let me show you. Let me show you the bridge. So Docker network ls. See, this is a bridge. You want to see that bridge? How many containers we have? Look at this. ps-es. Oh, sorry. Docker-ps, space ps. How many? 3 containers we have, right? So see here. If config. See guys, look at this table very well. This is your Docker 0. This is the Docker 0. It's a bridge, but it's a default bridge. Look at the range one, 17. I will ask you to read the only this one, subnet range, CIDR range, 17. Now there is one more bridge got created, this one. This is 18. Now you must be wondering, so here you got one more bridge here for the other containers. So you can create as many bridges you want, virtual bridges. That's the beauty of the container. We have created 2 bridges, one and this. Now who is creating this bridge? So guys, this code is creating this bridge. How do we know that? The name of the bridge is WordPress-network. No, let's check it out. No, see here, WordPress-network. This is the bridge. Now you have the 3 containers, right? Docker ps. You have 3 containers, right? See here, 1 container, 2 container, 3 containers. So this is the default bridge because I did not select it. But these 2 containers running with that the one WordPress bridge. Connect to the WordPress bridge. Now you want to validate, you know the command inspect container grep -i IP. See 18, look at this 18. And here you want to see this container which is Jenkins, which I created long ago. See 17. So that way, did you understand that? Visualize that stuff, guys. Now.
So why we need a separate bridge for these 2 services?
Yeah, very good question actually. I'm loving now actually, because when you ask questions, I like it. So actually, sometime what happens? Why we need a network? There could be hundreds of reasons. One simple reason why you need a different bridge in a Docker. So one example I would like to give it to you is like this. You have one testing requirement in which you have to run few applications in one network and then few applications in another network. Okay, and then cross network testing you have to perform. In between you have to do the routing, this, that and all. So if you do in the real time, create a 1 network, 2 network, then run physical machine in that network or virtual machine in that network and run application, install applications and so many things you do, how much time it will take? It will take a days of time. Even if you are expert, then it will take a day. If you're not expert, you just think about it. In Docker, how much time it takes? Second. How? Let me prove it. I want to create one network. Docker network create Raju dev. Done. Guys, I created one bridge. Docker network ls. See here, bridge, I got it one dev, bridge type. Okay. Now, can I create a container inside that network? So Docker run -itd Ubuntu, and how do I create in the, if I run this command, it will go to the default bridge, which is the first one, but I don't want dev. Now Docker ps, Docker inspect. See how much time is spent to do that, tell me. So many advantages are there. for the cross network mainly for the testing purpose. Mainly for the testing. Docker networking is mainly for the testing purpose. Kubernetes networking is for production actually. 19. See that? So my first CIDR range was for this one. For CIDR range for this one is 17. For this one 18, and this is 19. 65,000 containers you can get it in this bridge, this. So at least you get some idea, little bit of idea.
So basically, to avoid network-related issues between these two containers, that's why we are creating a separate bridge.
Not network-related issues. Basically, you want to run in that separate network, so you need a bridge.
Actually, we have router and two systems means by default it will be DHCP. So it will have its own individual on procedure.
DHCP is a way to automatically assign the IP address, not to static or dynamic. That's a different concept. I think you have to think about in a simple way. I'll put it in one more example. There is one office. There is two offices. In each office, you have 100 desktop running. Now, so the desktop, and you want to do the cross testing between that each network. So those are the requirement you want to create in Docker. It's just a matter of setting. So what you do? Create a bridge, run the container inside the bridge. Across the testing, you do that and validate the things. So you will validate within some time. Now, understand the things. I'll put it in this way. Why do you need a 2 Wi-Fi in home? Why do you need a 2 Wi-Fi, 2 router? You want to have a backup of it. But in the workstation, I'll give one more example. In your office, you have multiple departments. Why do you have multiple subnets? Subnets. We have subnets. Multiple departments have their own list of range of IP address. Different IP ranges. Why? Security reason. You want to aggregate the departments, teams, project, all these things. So in the Docker, what you can do here, you cannot manage the whole company here. You cannot run your laptop in containers. So here, what you can do, you run application inside a container. But why do you need a network? To access that application. But what scenario you want to create? Bridge network will help you with that. Are you getting my point? What I'm saying?
Yes.
Just read more about the networking. You will love it. By the way, guys, bridge network is not something new which you are learning now, guys. I don't know, but it's there from last 15 years and everyone have used it. You also have used it unknowingly. If you forgot that, let me remind you. This networking, Docker networking is not new. It's the same driver they are using from the physical machine to virtual machine to containers. It's not something we are learning new. See here, this is the one virtual machine. Go to the setting, okay, and go to the network. Where is the network? Here it is. See here, NAT bridge internal host only, generic driver NAT network not attached. See here, in this, if you see, in this, how many in Docker, how many you have got it? You got a bridge, you got a host, you got a not attached. 3 things you got it. Let me show you. So Docker network ls. See here, driver bridge, host, null, not attached. So this is there. Go and study a little bit of it. What exactly each one of these will do? What is the behavior? So basically, you are doing nothing great, but attaching to this. You can attach to NAT, you can attach to bridge, you can attach to no network. Just go through this and just study. You'll understand this because Docker networking, you need a networking fundamental to be clear. Got it, guys?
Makes sense.
Okay, guys. So this is now I'll give you only 15 minutes lab for the Docker Compose. Before that, there was some question from Suresh. Suresh, I have repeated these questions actually. I don't know. I mean, this answer. I don't know why you are saying it. I said you saying file extension should be YAML or using dot property. The YAML standard is the file can be anything. YAML is not having any rule as such. Understand that. Rule of YAML. Rule of YAML. Have you seen the YAML executable? No, it's a standard. So YAML file can be with any extension. Again, I repeat. But the format of the YAML should be in a YAML standard. That cannot be compromised. So here you can have it .YAML, you can have YML, you can have no dot also, you can have some dot properties also, anything you can have it, but the format cannot be compromised. If you get a format, you will get an error, and you will get an error, you have to fix it. So please just go through some of the small crash tutorial on YAML, you will understand that how it works. Make sense?
If you liked our Docker session so far, please enroll our general membership for $399 plan to get access of all the parts.
Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the $399 plan and grow your skills immensely.
Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest.
Thanks for watching.